Good evening, and welcome. Tonight's investigation focuses on one of the most significant financial crime cases to pass through the United Kingdom courts in recent years, a case involving billions in cryptocurrency, digital assets that moved silently, and a financial structure that appeared legitimate but was anything but. At the center of this case is an individual, because behind every financial system, behind every transaction, and behind every number, there is always a human decision, a choice to follow the rules or to exploit them. This is Ledger Lies, and tonight we examine what happens when the numbers appear real, but the truth behind them is not. More than 60,000 Bitcoin seized, secured, and examined, at the time valued at more than £5 billion, a number so large it becomes difficult to process, difficult to visualize, difficult to question, because when numbers reach that scale, they begin to feel abstract. But this was not abstract. It was real, recorded, held, visible. And yet, the real question was never how much existed. The question was where it came from, because in financial crime, origin is everything. At the center of this case was Jian Wen, living in the United Kingdom, moving through ordinary environments, presenting a life that, on the surface, appeared structured and unremarkable. But according to prosecutors, her role was anything but ordinary. She was responsible for handling significant volumes of cryptocurrency, managing access, facilitating movement, operating within a system that most people would never encounter. And that contrast between appearance and reality is where this story begins. The scale of the assets involved was extraordinary, more than 60,000 Bitcoin, a figure that, at the time of seizure, was valued at over £5 billion. To understand that number, you have to pause, because it is not just large, it is system level, institutional, an amount that exceeds what most organizations ever control. And yet, it existed within a structure that lacked the transparency expected at that level. That contradiction is where concern begins. Prosecutors told the court that these funds originated from criminal conduct, but the critical detail is not just origin, it is movement, because the funds were not static. They were transferred through multiple digital wallets, layered, fragmented, reconstructed, not randomly, but deliberately, because in financial crime, movement creates distance, and distance creates concealment. The further the funds travel, the harder it becomes to trace where they began. Investigators began with patterns, not assumptions, not speculation. Patterns, transaction histories, wallet movements, repeated behaviors, because even the most complex systems leave traces, and when those traces are followed, they begin to form a picture, a structure, a pathway, and eventually a point of control, because no matter how advanced the system, it is still operated by people, and people leave evidence. According to the official UK court judgment, the cryptocurrency handled in this case was connected to criminal conduct. The court examined the movement of funds, the structure of transactions, and the scale of activity, what emerged was not a legitimate financial system, but one designed to conceal origin and ownership at scale and over time. This is the smoking ledger. The assets existed, the balances were real, but the court found they were connected to criminal conduct, not legitimate, not clean, concealed, and that distinction changes everything, because value alone does not equal legitimacy, and numbers alone do not equal truth. But the case did not end with conviction, because in financial crime, proving the offence is only part of the process. The next step is recovery. According to the Crown Prosecution Service, millions were ordered to be repaid, because the system does not just identify the crime, it seeks to remove its benefit, to ensure that crime does not pay. So what does this mean for you? If an asset cannot be traced clearly, that is a warning. If ownership is unclear, that is a risk. If complexity replaces transparency, that is not innovation, it is concealment. And understanding that difference is how you protect yourself. Fraud does not begin with numbers, it begins with decisions. The decision to conceal, the decision to mislead, the decision to benefit from what is not yours. But no matter how complex the system or how large the numbers, the outcome is always the same: exposure, accountability, and consequence, because the ledger always balances. Thank you for watching. If you found this investigation valuable, subscribe to Ledger Lies, and until next time, question the numbers.